I'm Jasmine and welcome back to my channel. So in this vlog, I'm going to talk about languages. Well, to be honest, languages has been a very important part of my life. Since I've started learning, since I've started learning alphabets and started to write alphabets in different languages. So to be more specific, I am a Bengali Indian. So my mother tongue is Bengali, but I haven't really studied Bengali, so I can just speak and understand Bengali and maybe understand a couple of alphabets in Bengali. But I have lived in north of India, so I have studied Hindi and English. My entire education has been in English and I have taken Hindi as a subject. So I know how to read and write and speak both Hindi and English. So apart from these three languages, I developed some interest in foreign languages when I was in school. So there was a time when I used to learn numbers and some common words in French and Spanish. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really remember them because it's been a long time. And yes, I didn't have languages in my school. We don't have foreign languages. I'm not sure if my school does have the foreign languages right now because it's been years since I graduated, so I'm not sure about it. But yes, we didn't have any languages here. So moving on to the year 2016, no, 2016, I came across a German language teacher in my town. And honestly, at that moment, she was the only one, and I think it still is. She's the only one in this town. So she used to teach German language at an institute in Shimla, my town, where I live. So I decided to join the classes. So I went on to a demo class one day with my father and I experienced what it is to learn a language. There were many other students from different schools and there were some adults as well. So I found it quite interesting and I registered. And since then, at least for a year, I studied German. I completed A1 level and I also studied a bit of A2 level, but I didn't really give the exam because it was clashing with my board exams, the final school exams that we have. And I was in 11th and 12th grade. But I did most of the school, German language school during my 12th grade. So after that, maybe after a year when I joined bachelor's, I joined a university where foreign languages are compulsory to take. You can choose which language you want to take. So I chose German, obviously, because I knew the language a bit. So it was easier for me to learn the language. So my program was 3 years and I learned German for 3 years. But it was mostly A1 syllabus, so I didn't really learn further beyond A1 syllabus, maybe a little bit. So I think it helped me revise my A1 level skills. So that was 1 year of school and then 3 years of college that I learned German A1 level. And then immediately I went on to pursue a master's degree in England. So I lost touch with German language. So after a year, I started learning the language on my own and I started developing interest in many other languages. So after I got into Korean music, I also wanted to learn Korean language. So after a year in England, I started to learn German and Korean. So I had to learn Korean from the very beginning and I had to just revise German skills and maybe move on to A2 level of the concepts in German. So these two were the languages that I started. I think that was the year 2023. That's when I started revising German and learning Korean. So after that, I did have some phases in my life where I tried to learn the hiragana and katakana characters of Japanese language. I find it quite interesting, but I think I've given it a break so that I can focus on German language and Korean. And I'm going to be honest, it's not that I'm going to Korea anytime sooner. Uh, it's just that I find the language very interesting and it's very beautiful, and it's also the speaking part is really interesting. I love how it sounds. I love how Hangul, the Korean characters, sound. So I found it interesting. So I started learning it. But then German was the first foreign language I had started, so I needed to get better at it. After a year or so, I decided to pursue a second master's degree and I applied to German universities. And since I started learning Germany has been my, what should I say, my priority, my top choice. I really wanted to go to Germany for higher education. So fortunately, and I'm very happy about it, that I got into German universities. And this year, I'm going to be pursuing a master's degree in Germany, in Frankfurt. So finally, my German skills will be put to use. And yes, I have to learn German and improve my German skills. So I started taking it seriously and I started learning more, especially A2 level, because A1 level has already been revised. Probably I'll know it better. So now, the very first question that comes to anyone's mind is what resources to use to learn German. If you're not taking classes, if you're not paying loads and loads of money to attend German classes, because it does cost a lot and you might not want to spend that much to learn German or any other language. So the other option is to self-study the language and use online resources, all the available free resources to learn the language. So there is a problem in this case when you have loads of resources. So you cannot decide which one to use, or it gets very messy when you have lots of resources and you don't know which one to refer to at what time. So I I face this problem a lot, so I decided to what should I say, cut down a lot of resources and just keep a very few limited resources to learn German. And especially that can help me with all my skills like listening, talking, reading, or writing. So if I have to share what resources I use to learn German, so there are a couple of resources that you can use. The ones that I especially use are podcast. So there are podcasts on YouTube, there are podcasts on Spotify, so you can play them and learn different concepts. Or maybe there are podcast episodes just telling or talking about grammar, or just talking about vocabulary and maybe giving you a list of vocabulary words that you can use in your daily life or different concepts. Apart from podcast, I use Duolingo. And yes, not many people use Duolingo. Not everyone likes Duolingo, but Duolingo can help you keep in touch with the language. Maybe it doesn't help you to learn faster, but it's quite slow. So you can keep using it if you want to keep in touch and not forget anything. So that's why I use Duolingo. And then if you want to buy books, you can. So when I used to learn German in the German language school here in my town, we had to buy textbooks and course books. So I still have those books and I still use them, but it's pretty hard if you don't have, suppose, the audio files, if you don't have the CD anymore. So it's hard to do those exercises in those books. But there are other exercises which you can do just for writing and reading, so it's easier. The next resource that I use, uh, not that often because obviously everything is digitalized, so you can get almost every information on the net, but I still use this, the dictionary. So it's Oxford German Dictionary, so German to English or English to German, and it's quite big and it's very useful if you want to know certain languages. And then I also have the notebook that I use to make notes during my German language school. And I have another notebook that I use right now to make notes. Currently, I'm watching some videos on A2 level German and I am doing lessons on adjective endings. And I'm going to be honest, adjective endings are quite confusing. Like, you need to learn each adjective ending for each case, like accusative, nominative, dative, and genitive. So it can take a bit of time to learn those and get better at it. So I think I'm still struggling to learn these endings. And if I can show you what the endings look like this. So here are the endings for each case, even and they're even different for masculine, feminine, neutral, or plural, and for definite articles and indefinite articles. So there are a lot of cases that you need to learn. So yeah, that can be difficult. But yeah, what I forgot is the first important thing that you do when you start learning a language is learning the alphabets. So obviously it's written the same way as English alphabets, but the pronunciation is different. So you need to learn how to pronounce each alphabet, like A, B, C, D, or in German you can say A, B, C, D, and so on. And then there are some special characters that you need to learn, like the alphabets with umlauts, and they're very rare. It's not rare in German language, but those are the rare characters that you need to learn. So now I'm going to show you the resources that I'm using. I already talked about what type of resources I use, so I'm going to now show you specifically. So here is the YouTube podcast, Learn German. And it's very useful, and if you check out their videos, they have videos on different concepts of different levels, like A1 to C2, and the videos are quite informational and quite insightful, and instructions or explanations are also in German, so you get to learn how to understand German, like listening skills. So it's very good. There's also another channel, Learn German with German Pod 101. They also explain some basic concepts or maybe some basic terms or phrases or greeting phrases that you can use in German. And it goes on to explaining some harder concepts as well. Next one are some of these channels like Deutsch mit Lari. So in these channels, they usually explain their whole day. It's more like vlogs, but in German language. So they go on showing what they do in their daily lives, but they talk in German. So it's quite interesting. It helps you to understand how to form sentences and also how to use the grammar. This is another one, a similar type, a vlog, but in German. So you can hear.
Ich musste meinen Wollmantel wieder tragen.
So they also provide the captions so you can understand what are they talking about, both in German and English. Next is Daily Deutsch. It's same as Learn German podcast. So it explains some stories in German. They first narrate the story in German and then in English, and then some vocabulary related to the story. Next is Duolingo, and you can see I've done quite a lot of it on Duolingo. So it has different sections and units, especially for A1 levels or A2 levels. You can do whatever level you want to do, and it takes a bit of time. You maintain a streak every day. You do it every day, so you maintain a streak. And yeah, it's quite interesting. It is a bit slow. I mean, not the app, but the learning is a bit slow here, but it does impact all the skills like reading, writing, and speaking. So that's all with all the resources that I've used. If I ever find any more resources, I can definitely share it next time in my next vlog. So this is especially for someone who is trying to learn German or is hoping to learn German soon and is a beginner. They can choose resources wisely and start learning German at your own pace. If you do not want to do that, obviously there are German classes outside by different institutes, especially Goethe Institute has centers all across India, so you can, wherever you are staying, you can join their classes. They have online classes as well, they have offline classes as well. You just need to pay for these classes and attend those classes. So they also help you to give those exams for each level, A1, A2 level, because I also did it. So I didn't really join Goethe Institute. I joined a language school here in my town, and we were associated with the Goethe Institute, and we gave the exam over there in their center um, in Chandigarh. So that's how it works. And yeah, so that's all for this vlog, and I hope you found it useful, and I hope you can have a productive learning weekend and day, and I hope you enjoy learning languages, and especially German, if anyone is trying to learn German. So yeah, that's all for today's vlog, and thank you so much for watching and listening, and hope to see you next time.